The rotors of the Black Hawk thundered against the desert air, chopping the silence into violent pieces as dust rose like a living storm around the landing zone. Marines and SEALs moved with practiced urgency, boots striking hard-packed sand, rifles tight against armored chests. It was a forward operating base that didn't officially exist, the kind of place maps forgot on purpose. She stepped off last. No insignia that stood out. No dramatic entrance. Just a woman in standard combat fatigues, helmet low, face unreadable behind dark ballistic glasses. A slim pack over one shoulder, a weathered rifle case in her hand. She looked ordinary, and that was exactly why they stared at a couple of SEALs exchanged looks. One of them snorted quietly. Another raised an eyebrow. "Who's the civilian?" someone muttered. "She lost?" Another whispered. She heard all of it. Chose not to react. Inside the command tent, the air was thick with sweat, electronics, and ego. Maps glowed on digital screens. Satellite feeds flickered. Men with years of combat etched into their posture leaned over tables, arguing quietly about timing and angles. Chief Petty Officer Ryan Cole stood near the center, arms crossed, jaw tight. He was a legend in his own right. Multiple deployments, missions no one talked about, a reputation for not tolerating nonsense. When he saw her enter, his eyes narrowed. The room didn't stop. It paused. Conversations dipped. Someone coughed. Cole stepped forward, boots heavy, voice sharp enough to cut steel. "Who are you?" She removed her helmet slowly, deliberately. Dark hair pulled back tight. A faint scar traced her temple, half hidden beneath dust and sweat. Her eyes were calm. Too calm. "Here for the briefing," she said. Cole looked her up and down, unimpressed. "This is a Tier 1 operation," he said. "Not a tour. Not a training exercise. You lost." A few quiet chuckles rippled through the room. She didn't flinch. No, Cole's jaw flexed. "Then you better start talking." She reached into her pocket and placed a folded document on the table. Not shoved, not tossed. Placed. Cole didn't touch it. "I didn't ask for paperwork," he said. "I asked who cleared you to walk into my tent." She met his eyes fully now. "You did." That earned laughter. Real laughter this time. Cole smiled, but there was no humor in it. "Funny. I don't remember authorizing." He grabbed the paper. "Read one line." Then another. The smile vanished. The room went quiet in a way that felt heavy, unnatural. Cole looked up slowly. "That's classified." "Yes," she said. "That's why it's folded." He stared at her longer now. Measuring. Recalculating. "Name," he said. "Captain Mara Vance." A murmur moved through the tent. "Air Force?" someone asked. "Army," another guessed. Cole didn't blink. "Never heard of you." She nodded once. "That's intentional." He exhaled through his nose. "This op is run by Naval Special Warfare. My men. My call." She leaned in slightly, voice still level. "And I'm here because this mission fails without me." That did it. Cole stepped closer, towering over her. "You don't walk into a SEAL command tent and tell me my mission fails." "Then stop calling it yours," she replied. The temperature in the room dropped to Cole's eyes hardened. "You got a lot of confidence for someone with no visible unit patch." She finally smiled. "Just a little." Confidence comes from survival. Before he could respond, a junior officer cleared his throat nervously. "Chief." Her clearance checks out. Cole didn't turn. "I didn't ask." He looked back at her. "So tell me, Captain Vance, who exactly are you attached to?" She didn't answer immediately. She walked to the map table, pointed. "Target compound," she said. "Elevation error in your approach. Wind shear from the eastern ridge will throw your sniper overwatch off by 8 inches at 900 meters. One of the snipers stiffened. "That's impossible." She looked at him. "It was yesterday. Today the pressure changed." Silence. She pointed again. "Your breach team hits resistance here. Secondary team here. You lose 2 men before you even clear the courtyard." Cole's voice was low now. "You predicting the future?" "No," she said. "I'm correcting it." He stared at the map, then back at her. "Who trained you?" She met his gaze. "You wouldn't know the facility." That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. Cole straightened, folding his arms again, authority radiating off him. "All right," he said. "Let's assume you're half as good as you think. You still answer to me while you're here." She shook her head once. "No." That word echoed louder than gunfire. Cole's voice turned dangerous. "You want to say that again?" She didn't raise her voice. "I don't answer to you." The entire tent froze. Cole stepped closer until they were inches apart. "Then tell me," he said quietly, every word sharp. "Who's your commander?" For the first time, her expression changed. Not fear, not hesitation, something heavier. She reached up and removed her glasses. Her eyes weren't cold. They were tired. "Your commander," she said. The effect was immediate. Someone laughed, thinking it was a joke, and no one else joined in. Cole didn't laugh. He stared at her like he'd been slapped. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking." "You expect me to believe." She cut him off, her voice still calm, but now edged with steel. "This task force was activated under Joint Special Access Protocol 7. You were briefed on it 2 years ago. You signed the acknowledgement. You just weren't told when it would be invoked." Cole's memory kicked in. A briefing he'd almost forgotten. A line item buried under a mountain of redacted text. "Protocol 7, he swallowed. "You're saying I outrank you for the duration of this operation," she said. "And if you want to complete it with 0 casualties, you'll listen." The tent was dead silent. Cole stepped back slowly. Not defeated. Recalibrating. "Prove it," he said. She didn't argue. She picked up a marker and rewrote his entire assault plan in under 2 minutes singles. Timings. Wind. Enemy rotations. Details no satellite could see. When she finished, she placed the marker down. "This is your window," she said. 6 minutes. Any longer, and the convoy you don't know about arrives. Cole looked at the screen, then at his team, then back at her. "Where did you get this intel?" She paused. "From the last team that tried this mission," she said quietly. The weight of that settled hard. Cole nodded once. "All right," he said. "You've got my attention." She picked up her helmet. "Good," she replied. "Because we move in 30. As the room erupted into controlled chaos, Cole watched her walk away. For the first time in years, he wasn't sure who was really in charge. And that thought scared him more than the mission ever had. If you're enjoying this intense military story, subscribe to the channel Her Brave Stripes for more powerful, cinematic tales of courage, sacrifice, and hidden heroes. And tell us, where are you watching from? Drop your country or city in the comments below. The desert night had cooled, but the base still felt heavy with heat, dust, and unspoken thoughts. Floodlights cast long shadows across the tarmac, turning helicopters into giant skeletal shapes. Somewhere in the distance, generators hummed, steady and indifferent, like the heartbeat of war itself. Captain Reinhale sat alone on a metal bench outside the medical tent, staring at his hands. They were still stained with dirt and dried blood. Not all of it his. The adrenaline had faded, replaced by something far more uncomfortable. Humility. He had led Marines into combat before. He had buried friends. He had given orders that haunted his sleep. But tonight, for the first time, he realized how close arrogance had brought him to becoming another name etched into a wall. Across the base, Major Elena Cross, Geronimo Actual, stood near the operations center, helmet off, hair tied back, eyes fixed on the horizon. She looked calm to anyone passing by, but inside, the mission hadn't ended. It never really did. A young lieutenant approached her hesitantly. "Ma'am, command wants a debrief. Full after action." She nodded once. "Give me 5 minutes." The lieutenant walked away. Elena remained where she was, listening to the distant thump of rotor blades from a returning patrol. The sound pulled her backward through time, past deserts and mountains, past names and faces she carried like scars. Geronimo Actual. The call sign had been earned the hard way. Hale didn't mean to approach her. His feet just moved. When he realized where he was heading, he considered turning back, but didn't. "Major," he said quietly. She turned to face him. "I owe you more than an apology," he continued. "You saved my life out there." She studied him, not unkindly. "That's my job." "No," he said. "That was choice. You didn't have to pull me down. You could have let me learn the lesson the hard way." She exhaled slowly. "I've buried enough people who thought they had something to prove." Silence settled between them. After a moment, Hale asked the question that had been burning in him since the tunnel. Black Mesa. You mentioned it before. What happened there? Elena's jaw tightened, not defensively, but like someone bracing against an old weight. Black Mesa was a joint task force op, she said. High altitude, deep insertion, intelligence failure. Hale didn't interrupt. We were sent to extract a hostage from a compound that intelligence claimed was lightly guarded, she continued. It wasn't. It was a kill zone. Her voice stayed even, but her eyes changed, darker, farther away. I was second in command then, she said. Our actual was hit within the first minute. I took over. Hale swallowed. We fought our way in, Elena said. We found the hostage, but exfil was compromised. Enemy forces closed in faster than expected. Command ordered us to hold until air support arrived. She laughed softly, without humor. Air support never came. What did you do? Hale asked quietly. I made a call, she said. I split the unit. Sent half with the hostage through a ravine. Took the rest of us straight into the enemy to draw fire. Her eyes met his. I was the distraction. Hale felt a chill despite the heat. We lost 6 Marines that night, she said. Good people. Better soldiers. Their families were told it was unavoidable. Necessary. She looked away. I disagreed. Hale found his voice. But the hostage lived. Yes, she said. And so did the others. But those 6 didn't. Silence again. That's when they gave me the call sign, she continued. Jerónimo Actual. Not because I was fearless, but because I stayed when retreat would have saved me. Hale no dit slowly. And you carry that. Every day, she said. So, when you joked about it, it wasn't anger I felt. What was it? He asked. Disappointment, she replied honestly. Because leaders forget that call signs are often gravestones in disguise. The next mission came faster than anyone expected. Less than 12 hours later, alarms echoed through the base. Intel had intercepted communications, retaliation planned. The enemy knew who hit them. They wanted blood, emergency briefing, red lights, faces tight with urgency. Elena stood at the head of the room again. They're moving fast, she said. Convoy, multiple vehicles, heavy weapons, likely headed toward a nearby village. Civilians? Someone asked. Yes, Elena said. Which means we intercept. Hale leaned forward. Let me lead point. Several heads turned. Elena studied him. You sure? He nodded. I trust your command, but I won't stand behind it anymore. She held his gaze for a moment, then nodded. All right, you're with me. The night swallowed them as they moved out. This time, Hale didn't question her pace, her formations, her instincts. When she signaled, he moved. When she paused, he watched. He saw now what he hadn't before. How she read terrain like language. How she listened to silence. How she positioned people not for glory, but survival. The convoy appeared just before dawn. Gunfire erupted. The enemy fought hard, desperate, reckless. In the chaos, a rocket streaked toward their position. Hale saw it first. Incoming, he shouted. Elena turned, and Hale tackled her behind cover as the explosion rocked the ground dust. Fire. Shrapnel. When the noise faded, Elena pushed herself up, eyes wide. You okay? He nodded, coughing. Guess I learned something. She gave him a brief, fierce smile. Good. They finished the fight together. The convoy was stopped. Civilians were safe as the sun rose, painting the desert gold. Hale stood beside her, watching Marines secure the area. I won't joke again, he said quietly. Not about call signs. Not about experience. She looked at him. You earned that understanding. He hesitated. Geronimo, actual isn't just your call sign, is it? She shook her head. No, it's a reminder. Of what? That leadership isn't about being loud, she said. It's about staying when it would be easier to leave. Back at base, word spread fast. The Marines talked. About the mission. About the major who led from the front. About the captain who stopped joking and started listening. Respect replaced laughter. That evening, as helicopters lifted off into the fading light, Elena prepared to depart. New assignment. New fire waiting somewhere else. Hale walked with her to the tarmac. Thank you, he said, for correcting me before the battlefield did. She extended her hand. He shook it firmly. Captain Hale, she said, "Remember this." "Yes, ma'am." "Never mock a name you haven't earned," she said. "And never underestimate the ones who carry them quietly." She climbed into the helicopter. A Esset lifted off. Hale stood at attention and saluted. Not because of rank, but because of respect, because Geronimo Actual didn't need to prove anything. She had already proven it in silence, sacrifice, and survival. Military medal if you're watching this story on our channel, her brave stripes. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful military stories that honor courage, leadership, and real strength. Speech balloon and tell us in the comments. Where are you watching from?